Yeah. Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the broadcast of today here on Ancient Eden. As you may all know, that there has been a whole lot of tension going up in the African continent. And a whole lot of stories have been rumored and retold, but then we can't get the actual fact of such. But as usual in Africa, it is almost 100% to tilt towards the side of rumor, because in most cases, whatever you hear as a rumor tends to be the truth, no matter how long you try to cover it up. Huh? All right. So for that reason, we'll say the title of today's broadcast is this one. You all can say, what is the title? It says, let me just put it up here, or perhaps make it this way, that you all can say it properly. Military hostilities in Ivory Coast, Coup rumored. So there is an ongoing rumor of a military coup in Côte d'Ivoire. You know, Côte d'Ivoire is the grand papi, not papi lappy, the lapdog of the West. They can't do without selling out for a nickel or a penny. So, with this story coming up about a rumored coup event in Côte d'Ivoire, then we have no other reason than to believe in it. So we'll dive into it as we proceed. Okay? But before we go there, let's have a look at the title of this news coming to you all from Vantage First Post. We had to get this out. Wait. It says Gazans, they protest against Hamas. That is the people of Gaza now. They are sick and tired of being killed, of being martyred for political or religious reasons. When someone comes to you and preach about the kingdom of God and the wonderful buildings or plans that God has for you, but in order for you to benefit or to be a benefactor of the plan of God for your life, you have to die. You have to give up your life. You have to be martyred. You need to die for the cause of the God they told you about. They are the ones that came with the story of the God, but you, being the listener, you have to die for the God they brought to you. Insanity. No. It's madness of the last order. How can someone preach to you about a God, promise you the sweetness of that God, but only on one condition? What is that condition? You have to die for the God. They are the ones that are the prophet. They are the ones that speak with the God. It's none of us. We don't know anything about such gods. Both Christianity and Islam, we don't know. So they came with the story of that God. But the catch to that story of that God, you have to give your life up for that God. So now, today, the people of Gaza, they are tired of Hamas. Hamas is fighting for a cause, for a project, a purpose, a mission, a vision. But they are not willing to die for it. They are willing to sacrifice the life of the ordinary citizens or ordinary people of Gaza. So now Gazans, they are protesting because the pendulum has tilted to the other side. And there is no army in this world that is greater than the people. America today could have the largest or perhaps the most powerful army. China could have the largest army. India could have an army that is as strong as technicalities, you know. Russia could have the most deadly army. But in all, when we combine the armies of these nations, including the armies of Great Britain and France, when we combine them together, they cannot stop the people combined. Nothing. Stop. Now the people are offended. They don't want the ideologies of Hamas anymore. So we are going to let it play because today's broadcast or program, we are not going to take much of our time because we have a lot. We need to get these things out of the way so that we can address the aspect of the issue of Ibrahim Traore responding to Hamas. No, responding to what's his name? He's still a Hamas anyway. That is Barack Obama. Barack Obama is a Hamas, he's a terrorist. So Ibrahim Traore responded to him. So let us go there. Let's listen to this news. Thank you.
For nearly 2 decades, Gaza has lived under 2 sieges. One imposed from the outside, that is Israel's blockade. The other is from within, and that is Hamas's rule. In 2006, Hamas won the elections in Gaza. That was the last election that Gaza saw, 2006. What followed was a brief but brutal power struggle with the Palestinian Authority, Hamas versus the PA. By 2007, Hamas had seized full control of Gaza. Many Gazans hoped that this would bring change, that their lives would improve. But that never happened. All they got was cycles of conflict. In 2023, Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel. The retaliation was swift and devastating. Gaza became the battleground, and now it lies in ruins. Survival is a daily fight. So after all this suffering, the people of Gaza are finally saying enough is enough. They want Hamas gone. Gazans say they want Hamas out. It's a rare show of public outrage, especially against the Hamas, and you can understand why this is rare. This outrage often comes at a hefty price. The Hamas rules Gaza with an iron grip. Any show of dissent is crushed swiftly. No one is allowed to talk against them. Even while Hamas was fighting Israel, it was busy rounding up protesters. They were beaten up for speaking out. Some disappeared from the public eye. Others were even left to die. But it seems Gazans have nothing to fear anymore. Their dissent has been building up for some time now. Some people are turning Hamas fighters away, refusing to help them. Others do not want their houses to become Hamas hideouts. They're not letting them in. So Hamas may still control the guns, but they're losing the streets. The question is all of this coming too late? Should Gazans...
Let's stop it there. She said that Hamas may still control the guns, but they are losing the streets. But the point of correction, or why I had to interject at this point, is to make it emphatically clear that Hamas can only control the gun, but the greatest gun is... Because there is no how you can shoot 1 million people or even 10 million people and you level them. Even if you drop the most radioactive bomb, a couple of people will still survive. And those ones that will survive, they will be heavily reformed to the point that their mere presence alone is lethal. So, do not make the mindsets of the people lethal and highly literalized, you know. So Hamas have lost it. They said they took over 2006. They won the election. By 2007, they were able to upturn everything and crush everyone. Then they took over completely. How can they give you leadership? And the only change you brought was blood, tears, and sorrow. The money that you could have used to build infrastructure and to better the living quality of the people, you used it to build up an arsenal of deadly weapons, preparing for a battle that was never there. Huh? Money that you could have used to build infrastructures and giving welfare to the jobless, taking care of the people, you used it to buy weapons, build weapons. In all this, we know that the money of Saudi Arabia could be in it one way or the other. Why did we have to rope in Saudi Arabia? Because Burkina Faso have been able to upturn this type of crazy situation and ideology in the land, in the entire Sahel. So now they are taking care of their people, building up. The first thing that Saudi Arabia did was to go there that we want to give you 200 marks so that we'll take you to that God. Look at the madness. See, to hell with this stupidity of ideology called God and heaven. Keep your God, keep your heaven. Let us keep our lives, because life is important. Blood of humanity is important. The blood of the seed of mankind is important. So keep your God to yourselves. Why the little enforcers of this God, ideology of God, you must follow our God or you die, is Iran. The only thing Iran can do is to pump money to Hamas and weaponize them. I mean, perhaps pump weapons to Hamas, Islamic Brotherhood, Hezbollah. Name them. Maybe that is where they got the name Ebola from. Or maybe they got the name Ebola from Bola. No? So now the people of Gaza, they are tired. From 2006, hey, how many years? For 18 years. 18 years. Let's just round it up, 2 decades. These people have been going here. So now they are out. They said enough is enough. We don't want that no more. And that is exactly what is right now in the region. Hamas must leave Gaza. Now, there's no hope for Hamas in any way. There's no hope for Hamas. Hamas is trying to recuperate. I don't know where that one is going to come from or at whose expense will that be. Huh? I just don't have an idea. Now, the next one that we are going to bring to your screen is a little bit disturbing. A little bit. It has to do with this same madness of God, Godism, and so on. Now, let us have a look at this man. As you all know him, his name is, go back. His name is Ibrahim Traore. For donkey years, the Sahel has been a theater of bloodbath. And things have been going on in Sahel. Tears, pain, sorrows, blood, nothing good but disaster. Traore rose up. He's making the change. And the change is swift. Traore has survived over 18 lethal attacks on him. But somehow he survived it. And he's still hanging on. Now, the ideology of God have woken up suddenly. Then we have an animal called Prophet Robert Angel. He is there now to tell Traore, God sent me to you. God said that. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, You see, one thing about this God, I don't have regards to you, a prophet or a pastor. I don't have 1% regard because you're an idiot. You see, these people, they thrive on the weak side of the mentality of the people. Hubert Angel, he had never seen anything about Traore. He never knew anything about the Sahel. Because the people that does research for them and the spiritual antenna of the devil that they used to operate, has never ever picked out anything from the Sahel. Maybe as Nigeria is now, their spiritual antenna have not seen anything about Nigeria. But the day Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come back on the scene and start talking, you now see all the prophets, or especially from Nigeria, all of them will jump out. That is when God will start speaking. Tuberculosis Joshua is number one. He's late. Another one, Kumuyi. Another one, Adeboye. They start talking. God said. That same God will punish them. Because the Bible said that if a prophet should prophesy a thing and it doesn't come to pass, we shouldn't respect them. Perhaps we should stone them also. All these animals called pastors and prophets, they have all made countless amount of prophecies that have failed. And when you catch them red-handed, the only thing they can say, I was a man before I became a man of God. I am not perfect. I am not perfect. So now they have come down to the normal level that they should be operating from. So now, let this clip play, and perhaps I'll move it forward to the side that Hubert Angel started talking about. God gave him a message to go and give to Traore. That was how the Vatican, the Pope, before he passed on. Is it this new Pope self? No, the Pope, before he passed on, he sent a message to Traore. Oh boy, we have God for you, and the name of our God is Jesus Christ. Saudi Arabia went there. No, the name of our God is XYZ. Islam. See these two deities. Don't worry, we'll know what to do. Hindu restoration is here. We know what to do. My people everywhere, listen.
To take responsibility, we ask these masters to leave. Why don't they want to leave?
Oppressed people around the world can now look to Burkina Faso and to Ibrahim Traore and say liberation looks like it's actually possible. Burkina Faso isn't just a battleground today for the Burkinabe people. It's the front line in a global struggle for liberation. What Ibrahim Traore is doing is echoing in the Sahel, in Niger, in Mali, across Africa, across the Ummah, across the global south, and across the world. Ibrahim Traore led a coup against the government.
As truth and love pick up, but for those who haven't watched it.
Stop. Now, this is where I want to go to. Let me just move him here. Huh? Who is this? Apostle Dr. Elijah Kofi King. Now, I want to draw you people's attention to the type of names these things called pastors answer. This is the only time that I'm seeing engineer, doctor, prophet. You understand? One man of God, engineer, doctor, prophet. Now, this one is apostle, doctor. Then he has Elijah. I don't know if this coffee is the coffee that they used to make chocolates and the others. Maybe it could be the coffee or the cocaine. I don't know. Now, with the king in it, tell me, my people, what type of madness is this? What type of foolishness is this? Look at the name. An idiot that hears from God. Africa should be ashamed of themselves. The entire black world should be ashamed of themselves. They have God. They hear from God 24/7. God speaks to them always. But look at Africa. Look at the economy of Africa. Even on the financial table, African currency is baseless compared to the Western currencies. African currency is baseless. Yet they have God. Yet God is speaking. Now Traore is there. They have all come out. When coronavirus came out, all the prophets, they hid. They dodged. All churches was shut down. These same pastors Bushiri, the man from the bush, he came out. He created an app for tithes. Oyedepo from Nigeria, Winners Chapel, created an app for tithes. The rapist called Johnson Suleiman created an app for tithes. That tithe is very important. It's sacrosanct to them. They told you that the Old Testament has been done away with. We agreed, we believe. Then they went into the Old Testament and they took Malachi chapter 3 from Old Testament and moved it over to the New Testament. Then I asked the question, why will you go to the Old Testament to move a page from there into the New Testament? I thought you said it's over. They said, no, when the church comes together and agree on a thing, it will be established, because it said, where two or more are gathered in my name, the thing is established. So we have the right to move it because we are co-creators like God. I said, really? They said, yeah. I said, okay. But the same Bible told me that if you collect tithe, my people listen, that you shouldn't have an inheritance. You shouldn't have a property. What are you doing with private jet? What are you doing with iPhone 16 Pro Max? Is it not a property? No, to make the work of God efficient. Then when you catch them, pants down, red-handed, then the next day, I am a man before I became a man of God. You see how slippery these people are. It's like trying to catch a fish with your bare hand in the water. It's very slippery. It's impossible. That's how these men of God are. They are all thieves from the pit of hell. Now, you will listen to them. This is Ubat Angel, the angel. Look at how nasty he's looking. Let's go there.
Watched it. I'm just gonna be adding to the video that I posted over there with what another prophet also said, who was actually assuring the people of Burkina Faso that nothing will happen to the president.
Right now, the Traore, they offered, I believe it was 3,000, I don't know the exact number of mosques. Saudi Arabia offered 3,000 mosques. Oh.
Now, let's stop this liar there. You see how mad the God of Ubat Angel is. The God that Ubat Angel shared this broadcast, as we are hearing this broadcast today, ancient Idu is normal. We are normal today. That's why we are talking this way. Did you hear Ubat Angel? He said, Saudi Arabia offered Burkina Faso 3,000 mosques. He repeated it emphatically that it was 3,000 mosques. Oh boy, Atayao, because I don't know where this 3,000 mosques came from. 3,000 mosques. You see how his God spoke to him and told him, Ubat Angel, Ubat Angel. He said, oh, Papa, I'm here, my God, my Lord. And God said, it was 3,000 mosques. So go and tell my people it was 3,000 mosques. That is why Ubat Angel came out. Oh, Saudi Arabia, they offered 3,000 mosques. Let me take it back again. So to those of you that have cotton wool in your ear, that wouldn't hear him say it, I need you all to listen. All right? Let me call him as God. Ubat Angel, speak to the people. Now listen.
He offered, I believe it was 3,000, I don't know the exact number of mosques. Saudi Arabia offered 3,000 mosques. Oh, so that's something to that number, to that effect. Thousands of them, rather. And he said, my people don't need it. Not at this time. And he's Muslim.
Now you heard him. He said 3,000 mosques. He's sure it's 3,000 mosques. He doesn't know, but he's sure that God told him it's 3,000 mosques. Ah, yes. Continue.
That's why I like that, brother. Changing his nation.
Really changing.
And now America, Cote d'Ivoire, and France are joining hands, clandestine operation to try and kill him.
Up there. He said America, France, and Cote d'Ivoire are joining hands, clandestine operation trying to kill him. How? Have you forgotten that William Rotten Ruto of Cameroon, of Kenya, he said the guy in the office is illegitimate, he's anti-democracy, that they must remove him. Did America not go there? How about Nigeria? Have you forgotten that Nigeria said 10 hours, only 10 hours, they will erase the whole of Cote d'Ivoire and restore democratic rule? Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten that ECOWAS drove them away. Your God didn't see that one. Have you forgotten that AU, is it African Union or Slave Union of Africa? African Slave Union, ASU. Have you forgotten that they've sanctioned them also? Your God didn't see that one. Your God will only see the ones that are on the mainstream media. A.I.R.
Especially France. At least I can understand America is trying to do business. But France is really trying to kill him.
Eliminate him fast.
Eliminate him. So you got to pray for him. It doesn't matter he's Muslim, pray. He's a brother. He's a potential soul that can come to Christ. Pray for him.
Yes, sir.
The Burkina Faso president I was preaching about, I was in my vision yesterday night to this morning, and God was saying,
Stop. You see all these Jericho pastors, all these pastors that, you see, the most laziest occupation in the field of mankind is the clergy. I put it clergy. All religion, the clergy. More especially Christianity and Islam. But Christianity occupy the position of number 1 to 10. Islam can take 11, 12. Other religion will take from 13 upwards. You see, that one came out now. God told him about Burkina Faso. Now God is speaking about Burkina Faso. All of them now. It is content for them. We have the normal social media content makers. Now we have the pulpit bandit content makers. They are there. God is speaking. Now listen.
Christ. Pray for him.
Yes, sir.
the Burkina Faso president I was preaching about, I was in my vision yesterday night to this morning, and God was saying to me, pray for the young man, because what I see, if it happens, the center will not hold. Because I cannot be sitting there in the midst of enemy and
Liar.
I stay alive. It's just that it means that God kept me.
Liar.
There's nobody who send it ayé ò lè mú.
Liar.
Àfi t'Ọlọ́run bá sọ pé ayé ò lè mú ẹ.
This is a Nigerian pastor, a Yoruba bandit. He said that there is nobody. Let me translate the trash. That he said that there is nobody. If this life wants to mess you up, the life will mess you up. There is nobody. God told him, pray for that guy because they want to take his life. If they take it, the center cannot hold. You see, Nigeria. Nigeria is a joke to creation. All rounder. Joke to creation. Now his God is talking to him. We need to pray for that guy. Oh boy, have you prayed for Nigeria? Have you prayed for Nigeria? Animals everywhere. Burkina Faso now, students in the school, they are being paid to school. Nigeria, with all our vast oil that we have more than what we have. Dubai doesn't have it. But Dubai is 10 times richer than Nigeria. And we have men of God that can pray for Burkina Faso. Oh boy, if it was back in the Renaissance, every Sunday that they sacrifice a black man in the church in Europe those days, this one should have been among them. They would just tie him there, roast him like fry or chicken. Just imagine. Now your God is speaking. Your God will not speak about Tinubu. Your God has never ever spoken about Buhari. Your God has never ever spoken about the vandals that are killing people in Nigeria in the name of Islamic insurgency, which made Traore to rise up and chase them away from Burkina Faso. They are now fully operational in Nigeria. You are there praying for. What type of nonsense is this? What type of a rough play is this? Bad people everywhere. Continue with your lie, Linus.
We need to pray that it should last. Because the sign ahead of him is very black and dark. I'm sincerely speaking, I'm talking from a place of prayer. If allowed, we're going to have one of the best countries in Africa from that place. But with their...
If allowed, we are going to have one of the best countries in Africa from that place. Now, they want to have best. It is no longer Nigeria. see the foolishness of people. Eh? You can see. These people are out to deceive you. They are out to deceive you. Nigeria produces graduates every year in a volley. Graduates jump out from Nigerian University every year. It's not even, Burkina Faso have not produced a quarter of the graduates that comes out from Nigeria. Now, that is Nigeria. Now, let us look externally into India. India produces 1 million engineers every year. And the people coming out or graduating from India worldwide, they are pulling effect, they are pulling heavyweights. How about the ones that comes from Nigeria? The moment you graduate from Nigeria as an engineer, you see them carry Bible like Paul Enenche, that he's a medical doctor, a trained medical doctor with a wife, but they never practice. They carry Bible, doing surgical what? Right collecting. Adeboye is a professor of mathematics. He's not in the university teaching. He's using his professorate as a mathematician, doing surgical tight collecting operation. The moment they graduate from Nigeria as engineers, doctors, professors, just name it, they carry the Bible. They carry Bible, they start talking. And he's here talking about the people that are working hard. That is why Burna Boy wants to go there and do a show for them. Oh boy, let us dance, let us dance, let us dance. That's why he wants to go there. In a place where they are fighting war, you want to go and boogie. Nigerians are mad people everywhere. Continue.
Allow, I'm telling you, that's the wickedness of the world we live in. The children of darkness are wiser than the children of light.
Yes, you are right. Children of darkness are wiser than the children of light. You are right. That is why Bola Ahmed Tinubu can win election at midnight and they announce the result at midnight. Before you people woke up in the morning, he has been declared winner. Is that not a child of darkness? He said his name is Bat, B-A-T. Is that not a child of darkness? But you can see that one in Burkina Faso. You see, let him just finish so that I can send him off. I'm not here to waste time on animals like this.
We need to pray.
The current video, confirmation video about the Pope. I think yesterday I saw another comment, new comment again, requesting for Burkina Faso, because what is happening in the realms of the spirit and in the atmosphere and on the internet, it always seems like a joke, but it happens. They did the same thing to Kwame Nkrumah.
Ah, God, I can't laugh. But this guy said the truth. He said, he mentioned the internet. That is where they do their research and get their research. Oh, the Pope died. Oh, what is happening? Oh, it's coming. Oh, Burkina Faso. Oh, they did the same thing to Kwame Nkrumah. Who was Kwame Nkrumah? I want to know. Because I know that most of you don't know who Kwame Nkrumah is or who he truly was. He was an occult man. Whatever Nkrumah did wasn't for the good of Africans. Get this into your head, black people. He was an occult man with the false occult identity of Pan-Africanism. These idiots, they are all pastors, they are all prophets, they are professors, they are doctors. All of them, they don't know these things that we are saying here on Ancient History. Fighting for Pan-Africanism. Mad people everywhere.
They did the same thing to Thomas Sankara. They did the same thing to Gaddafi. They have been doing it over and over and over again. And this time around, they will not succeed. They will not succeed not because that is what I wish for. They will not succeed because as a prophet, that is what God is saying.
You heard him. As a prophet, that is what God is saying. God was silent when Kwame Nkrumah died. God was silent when Muammar Gaddafi died. God was silent when Thomas Sankara died. God was silent when Lumumba died. God was silent. No, Lumumba died. The other Lumumba, not this professor. God was silent when Sylvanus Olympius died. God was silent when Gabriel Abdel of Egypt died. Mad people everywhere.
They will not succeed. The people, or let me put it this way, the evil white people that are planning to come and invade Burkina Faso.
His God is telling him now. His God didn't tell him the name of the people. He said, the people that were coming, the evil white people that are coming to come and invade Burkina Faso. You see, these people, whosoever that is writing a script for them is just setting them up for a fall before they even start. If, for caricature, if your God is telling you, God is not a respecter of any man, God will mention your name specifically. That's why whenever Donald Trump wants to talk, Donald Trump, man, see, if there is anything I love about Donald Trump, is he calls your name and he tells you that you are corrupt, you are evil. But these people, they have the God, but they can't mention the names. We know Emmanuel Macron is a devil himself. We call his name because that is his name. And these are his activities. We mention his name. And these ones that hears from God. They, like Lumumba, oh, they come to tell us, they want us to do it. Who are they? That is where I'm having problem with these people. Who are they? So you can mention the name of dead people. But now the living people that are active, you are dodging to mention their name.
And arrest Ibrahim Traore and kill him so they can have access to the resources of the land, the gold, the oil, and whatever resources they have, natural resources they have. The land of Africa has rejected them, and they will not succeed. Hallelujah. Yes, I'm speaking as a prophet of God.
He is speaking as a prophet of God. This one is no longer speaking, he's speaking as a prophet of God. What God? Which God? Mad people everywhere. Let me see if there's another prophet in the front, because I'm tired of this living investor talking rubbish, speaking as a prophet of God. Can't you see his name? Apostle Doctor. The only thing that is missing there is engineer, but we know there is coffee in it. Coco. Apostle Doctor. Coughing. Maybe that coffee should be coughing. We'll move over to the next one. You all can see what is playing out. It is playing out in 4K, in confirmed 4K. Huh? That's how it's playing out. So now, what else do we have to say here before we move forward? So now we are jumping straight into the business of the day. We are going to start off from here, from this event. This is Ivory Coast. This happened 2 days ago. We have been trying to wait to see a clear confirmation of these hostilities that fell out. It is clear that the president, the Chihuahua president, the lapdog of France, that old man, Sana Katara or whatever his name, was captured. Or perhaps there was a coup that was successful in Ivory Coast. But it has been kept under the wrap. No major news outlet have said anything about it. And the rumor started moving around since yesterday, even up to now, that the president is well and okay. He has made a State of Nation announcement. We have tried to see or watch the State of Nation announcement. We have not seen it. All we keep hearing is he say, oh, he said something, he said this or he said that. Initially, we heard a rumor that he fled to France, and France said, yeah, he was there, but he's giving them command to restore the country back to democratic rule. We heard that America said they are not in support of whatever that is happening there. But why this went down in Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, why this went down in Cote d'Ivoire, almost at the same time, another one went down in the Oval Office, Trump and Ramaphosa. That one will play it here also. Where Trump humiliated Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa. And on a normal day, Cyril Ramaphosa had nothing to do by honoring the invitation of Donald Trump to visit the White House. Because just a couple of weeks ago, or a few months ago, Cyril Ramaphosa said, Donald Trump is even worse. If I see him, I will tell him to his face that Donald, you are worse. Donald knows nothing about Africa. He has never ever been to Africa, according to Ramaphosa. So he should keep his America to himself and we keep our South Africa to ourselves. The land is our land. That is how Ramaphosa sounded. Huh? But suddenly, I saw him at the White House, looking so jittery when they played the video of the outcome or whatever that is happening in South Africa. I saw him adjusting. He will adjust. He became so uncomfortable on the seat. And there is something that I don't like about going to the Oval Office. There's something that I don't like about it. They will humiliate you. They will abuse you, because they are arrogant. You can see when, what's the name of the Ukrainian president went there? When the guy went there, Zelensky, you can see the way they humiliated Zelensky. We are doing you a favor. Then the journalist now said, why will you come to the White House? You are not putting on a suit. That was an insult to the people that have died in the Ukraine. That was an insult. Now, compare the insult they gave Zelensky for not putting on a suit to the White House. They made him like a school prefect. Compare him to Traore. Traore goes anywhere in his full military regalia with his pistol. And his guards, they are all armed to the teeth. They don't care. And it was okay with Putin of Russia. He loved it. Huh? So now, because Burkina Faso is at war right now. Now, a nation that is also at war, actively in war, the guy went in his military outfit, what he has been using to fight, getting to the White House, they insulted him. Now, who were the ones responsible for the war going on in the Ukraine? It was United States, men in suit. Men in suit, they are the main demons. Men in suit, they are the devils of this generation, of this world. So you don't need to put on a suit to make you look okay, as if you are truthful. So that is the takeaway I'm making here. So now, for you to go to the White House, you got humiliated. That is for Ramaphosa. Look at the questions that we are asking him. Irrelevant, stupid questions. Very stupid. That was why Traore said, to hell with your invitation. I'm not coming to the White House. I'm busy. If you want to see me, come over here. Don't invite me to the White House. Come over and see me. Stop calling me. Then next thing Traore said, if he goes there, they will definitely rubbish him and give him conditions. And if he doesn't adhere to the conditions, definitely his plane will crash somewhere if he leaves America. Traore saw it. Now Ramaphosa should have seen it. Because after that blast from Ramaphosa, saying that Trump is worse, now what will you go to the White House to do? You didn't even tell him to his face anymore. Ramaphosa never said it because he forgot the lines. Only for him to adjust and adjust. Donald Trump not like this. Why didn't he arrest that guy? Who was he talking about? Malema. That, what's his name? Ramaphosa should arrest Malema. We'll play that. We are going there. Let's finish up here. This is Ivory Coast. This was gunshot blazing all through the night. Huh? This was the night of the coup, around 3 a.m. in the morning. Then at the end, major news media, they are all silent. And people will say, oh, it's a lie. Nothing like that happened in Burkina Faso. It's a lie. If it happens, major news media will carry it. And I was silent. I didn't say anything about it. You see, humanity It's a painful thing trying to save them. Whatever that happens to mankind, the abuses is well deserved. Let's be honest here. It's well deserved because it is difficult for them as a people to think. It is very, very difficult. Let's just be honest there. Huh? Okay? So, with that being said, we jump out of this very one, huh? And we are going to jump into the next one. Going to jump into the next one. And let's see what happens in the next one. This is still Burkina Faso. This is Burkina Faso. Huh? The people are rejoicing. This happened this 3 a.m. in the morning. The people are rejoicing. They are moving after the announcement that took place there of a new government. And I don't know why the major news outlets, they refuse to carry this very information. I don't know why. Simply refuse to carry it. But then, we never gave a damn about whether they carry it or not. Ours is just to talk about it. And here is from another blogger site. Let me just put it up on the screen so we can all see it together. That is Burkina Faso, following morning of the coup. Following morning of the coup, these are people talking about it. Let me just see from here. Let's see what he has to say.
There are economic administrations in which other countries, through the neoliberal system, they exploit the natural resources, they exploit the population.
So these are the regular talk that people will come out and talk. But we don't really give a damn about whatsoever they are talking about. That's life for you. Those that are serious to effect a change, they usually don't talk much. Go ahead and do what they want to do. So now, we are diving into Ramaphosa in the White House, so that we can all have a look at what happened there. It's a very long video, but I don't think I'm going to play it at length because we are approaching the 1 hour mark. But then, we are going to play it anyway. We'll fast track it and let's see. And I hope that we wouldn't miss any part of it. This is Ramaphosa at the White House, the Oval Office. Let's go there.
If there was what would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah, let me.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on the around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that
Trump.
we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it,
Sure.
and we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and I have to. It has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this government can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yeah. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. So whatever you want to do, I can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament. Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill, no answer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
The mayor of D-Day in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Sunni will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. You are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot to kill, no answer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Shoot to kill, no answer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, what's not wrong for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but you understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses.
You can see Ramaphosa trying to adjust.
Those people are all killed.
You can see Ramaphosa trying to adjust.
Where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because This I've never seen.
Now, Ramaphosa said he has not seen it before.
It's in South Africa. That's what.
We need to find out.
Look at how uneasy Ramaphosa is.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One. Perhaps
What are you talking about?
What
are you talking about? You know,
the Pentagon.
you gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network.
You see the way Trump is talking. They are in the middle of something that is very, very important that they are talking about. And a journalist here now had to interject and start asking questions about a jet that Saudi Arabia gave to the United States as a gift. You can see how Trump shut the mouth of that journalist up. I said he's going to deal with whoever the journalist is. That it is stupid of that journalist to talk about things like this in the middle of a discussion that is important. You can see men of purpose, the way they drive down. But when you see people that are two-faced, the way they dabble from pillar to post, trying to shunt and balance, just as Ramaphosa is doing there, Ramaphosa said he never saw that video where, what's the name? Malema said, cut the throat of the whites, shoot them, spill their blood. He said he never saw it. The ones the white people are going to bury their dead, that he never saw it, he will go and investigate it. It's like Bill Gates, when he went to Nigeria, he told Dangote, the richest man in Africa, or perhaps the richest black man, that there is no electricity in Nigeria. Dangote said he never knew anything about that. But we all know that when we were born, even from the time of independence to today, electricity is epileptic in Nigeria. Now it's not even there. It's not there at all. And yet Dangote, that is older than my own father, never knew that Nigeria doesn't have electricity. You can see, I don't know what type of lie I should call that, because this one has gone beyond a white lie. This is a lie coming from Lucifer himself. Ramaphosa said he never knew about it. He will go and investigate it. Imagine.
And you're a disgrace. No more questions from me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You see, Trump said that you are a disgrace. No more questions. Call a spade a spade. Call it out and end it there. Stop dabbling from pillar to post. Let me take it forward. These are picture evidences shown to Ramaphosa.
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried. And he asks about.
And look at how Ramaphosa is seated like a student.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You are so bad. You're such a bad.
And Ramaphosa could not say, Donald Trump, you are even worse. He didn't say it anymore. Look at how he's seated, cooperative, like a student.
If they're committing genocide, why invite them? So if they are committing genocide, why invite the South Africans? Go right on.
Ramaphosa was ambushed. He never knew what was waiting in the pipeline for him. While this is a major victory for the West, NATO, led by the United States, it's a major victory. If they can ambush one of the leaders of BRICS nation, of the global South, one of the leaders of the multipolar world that they are trying to build, if they can ambush him like this and make him feel uneasy, make him feel sweaty under the AC, then it's a major win for the West. NATO has to do more, and not NATO, even BRICS. They have to do more. It's a win for them against the BRICS. Take note. But it's not a win for them against the motherland. The motherland and BRICS are two different entities. NATO and BRICS, they are two business clubs. NATO, led by America, the West. BRICS, led by China, no, led by Russia and China. Then the other three nations, India, South Africa, and Brazil. Now they are gathering their own, trying to form a global heavyweight. But Africa is on its own. The motherland is on its own. Why the West were busy celebrating this major diplomatic victory over BRICS? Because what they did to Ramaphosa here is a victory over BRICS alliance. The motherland had something else cooking. And what was that the motherland was cooking? That was what unfolded inside Ivory Coast. How they ousted the government of Ivory Coast. Let me take this one off. How they ousted the government of the day in Ivory Coast. So you see, sometimes victory is never absolute. Lots of things happen. Lots of things happen. So we are going to jump into this other one. Into this very one now. Why Trump was busy. This one is also a very long video. And I wish I could play it to the end. If we don't complete it today, we'll complete it some other time. Why Trump was busy attacking Ramaphosa and what they did or what South Africa is doing to the whites. For the first time in history, I've seen in my life or in this generation, I'm seeing a country send a plane from their country to another country to pick up people and take them over, giving them asylum, citizenship, work, accommodation, everything. Donald Trump sent 10 planes are coming from the United States down to South Africa to pick up the whites, relocating them to the US. But on the other side, no media coverage, no information being passed out. Nigerian technocrats, educated ones, working class ones, students, just name it, are being rounded up as we speak in America and being deported through the back door. Who caused it? I won't say it's Donald Trump. It was the Nigerian government that signed the agreement with the United States. So they are picking up people randomly, Nigerians, going different places, picking them up, deporting them, regardless of their status in America. Once they say, oh, we find a fault in your immigration record, you are gone. Boom. Once you're a student, oh, we find a fault in your academic record as a student. Boom, you are gone. The way they get you can see these people. The way they got them like this, that is how they took them back to Nigeria. As they are taking them out from America back to Nigeria, they are replacing them with the white South Africans that don't even have passports. They just pick them and take them there. Now they are taking people that have passports. They say, oh, immigration issue. Maybe 1 week overstay, 2 weeks overstay, they capture you. If you have been in America 10, 20 years, 30 years, it doesn't matter. They capture you. They put you on that plane. Back home. Back home. This is it. Ramaphosa is here busy trying. Why didn't he say, I thought South Africa is that intelligent? They should have done information gathering. So when this type of a story comes up, Ramaphosa should diplomatically bring up about the illegal removal of Nigerians. He will mention it specifically. Why are you removing Nigerian technocrats, doctors, teachers, nurses, students, and so on, for minor immigrational issues that could be fixed by the office? Why are you deporting them? Denying them the right to lawyers and any other thing. You just capture them, you remove them. going to homes, going to schools, going to churches, capturing them, removing them. Now making way for these white South Africans, for them in the United States. So there is a scapegoat on the other hand suffering it. The scapegoat for them on the other hand. As they were celebrating, the shake-up happened in Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. That one, if that thing comes out, that is confirmed, then it is a major victory for the motherland. We don't care about the BRICS and about NATO or the Oval Office. We don't care. We are trying to make a mark for ourselves. Look at, just listen to it. Listen to it. What is going on in the US?
In early 2025, something strange began to ripple through Nigerian communities across the United States. It wasn't broadcast on the news, it didn't trend online, but word of mouth spread fast in places like Houston's Little Lagos, the Bronx's Yoruba enclaves, and the bustling African neighborhoods of Maryland. People were vanishing, not into the night, but into immigration vans, courthouse side doors, and lockdown holding facilities. And no one could explain why the names being called were almost always Nigerian. At first, it was one person here, two people there. A man who went to his monthly ICE check-in and never returned. A woman who dropped her kids at school and never made it to work. Then came the phone calls. Desperate, urgent. They got me. They're sending me back. Call my family. And still, no one in the mainstream media said a word. What made this wave different was its silence. There were no high-profile raids or televised deportation flights. Instead, it unfolded like a whisper campaign, precise, quiet, and surgical. The targets? Nigerians with unresolved visa issues, expired documents, pending asylum cases, or minor administrative violations. No violent charges, no serious felonies, just unfinished paperwork. In many cases, these individuals lived in the U.S. for years, some even decades. They had American-born children, mortgages, jobs, and deep roots in their communities. Yet none of that seemed to matter. One by one, they were marked for removal. The calls started reaching Nigerian embassies by February. A pattern was forming. People of the same nationality, from different states, all being detained with shocking coordination. It wasn't just ICE doing the groundwork. In several reports, local law enforcement began cooperating with federal agents, acting on signed detainers even when immigration status had nothing to do with the original arrest. What confused many Nigerians was how they were identified in the first place. Some had pending appeals. Others were still in court, yet they were picked up anyway. Immigration lawyers later revealed that final removal orders had quietly been signed in bulk in late January, shortly after President Trump signed an executive memorandum expanding expedited removals. Behind those policy moves was a deeper strategy: clean the system quickly, efficiently, and quietly. Nigerians, who ranked high in visa overstay statistics due to complex renewals and backlog issues, became prime targets, not because they were dangerous, but because they were vulnerable and statistically available. In detention, the story was worse. People who had never been in handcuffs were suddenly placed in jumpsuits, denied access to phones, and relocated to remote ICE facilities with barely any notice. Families were left scrambling, contacting embassies, searching for lawyers, and launching GoFundMe campaigns. But the pace of arrests outstripped the system's ability to respond. The machinery had already started. At one Texas detention center, a 33-year-old Nigerian man who overstayed a student visa by just 4 months was placed in the same unit as individuals with serious felony charges. His only crime was overstaying, a technical violation, but he was denied bond because his deportation was already scheduled, a fast-track list. The most haunting detail, however, wasn't the arrests. It was the fear that followed. Even those who weren't on the deportation list began disappearing, voluntarily. Parents stopped sending their children to school. Students dropped out of college mid-semester. Workers resigned from their jobs without explanation. Churches reported a drop in attendance. Clinics stopped seeing Nigerian patients who feared registration would alert authorities. It was as if an entire community had gone into hiding. For every person detained, dozens more began to self-isolate, afraid they might be next. Some fled to Canada. Others simply vanished within the US, disconnecting their phones, moving out overnight, or taking shelter with distant relatives in smaller cities. And the fear wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. ICE had started using community presence operations, visiting workplaces, courthouses, or apartment buildings with informal lists, asking about specific individuals. Friends of detainees were being questioned, landlords were approached, church members were quietly watched. It was no longer about enforcement. It was intimidation by visibility. What made this all the more devastating was how invisible it remained to the rest of the world. There were no hashtags, no global outrage, no trending videos. For most Americans, it wasn't even happening. And for most Nigerians outside the US, it was unthinkable. Until that is, news broke that 3,690 Nigerians were listed for imminent deportation, and the first plane was getting ready. That's when Nigeria itself had to ask a chilling question. Why are so many of our people being targeted all at once? And what forces, political, economic, or diplomatic, made them the first in line? That question takes us deeper, not just into the how, but into the why. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. Not Guatemalans, not Chinese, not Ukrainians, not even Mexicans, who have historically topped deportation statistics. In 2025, under a revamped U.S. immigration policy, it's Nigerians who are being detained with eerie precision. But this isn't random. This is calculated policy engineering, driven by data, strategy, and a new kind of political theater. Behind every ICE raid, every courtroom signature, and every van door slammed shut is a logbook of metrics. The Trump administration, back in office as of January 2025, wasted no time in weaponizing that data. One particular chart caught the attention of White House advisors. Nigerians represented a disproportionately high percentage of visa overstays and asylum denials relative to other African and non-African nationalities. In 2024 alone, 3,690 Nigerians were recorded as having final removal orders. These were not mere illegal entrants. Most of them had entered legally, as students, work, or tourist visas, and overstayed due to reasons ranging from job loss to education disruptions. But to Trump's team, they were statistically low-hanging fruit. And here's the twist. Unlike many immigrants who evade detection, Nigerians often do everything by the book. They file for extensions. They attend court dates. They register for social programs, which means they're easily traceable. A paper trail leads right to their doorstep. And in the new immigration war, visibility is vulnerability. But policy is never just about numbers. It's about optics. Trump had returned to office on the promise of restoring America's borders, a slogan meant to signal more than just physical security. It was a cultural call to purify America of what his base viewed as freeloaders, foreign threats, and non-white others who had benefited under previous democratic reforms. And in the post-COVID, economically strained America of 2025, that messaging landed hard. Within that narrative, Nigerians became the perfect scapegoats. Why? Because their story is complicated. Unlike Central American migrants fleeing gangs or Syrians escaping war zones, Nigerians don't always fit the refugee mold. Many are highly educated. They speak fluent English.
Go ahead, that. Said Nigerians don't fit the refugee. Now, South Africa is a country that offers refugee, immigration, asylum, and all whatnot you can think about. So now, Trump is flying the plane from the United States down to South Africa to pick people and take them back. Take them down to the US. Make them citizens. Then the ones that are technocrats, that are highly educated and they fit into roles, the ones that are not even hiding, the ones that attend every immigration meeting, every court case, every adjournment to remodify or update their papers, their documents rightly. Those are the ones that are the scapegoats. They capture them. Send them. It's not you drop off your child at school, you won't get home anymore, you just disappear. Next thing you are back in Nigeria. this is illegal. These are the points that Cyril Ramaphosa should look into. Cyril Ramaphosa only has, I don't know how I'll put it, but he has this group of nonchalant workers. He should surround himself with certain technocrats that goes deep beyond the surface to drag out informations like this and always update him so that he will be aware of certain things that are playing out. You know, in the team of Cyril Ramaphosa, they should have standout guys, you know, people that can dig deep, deeper than the surface, and give them information, arm them with information, so that when they meet global leaders, they are fully armed and aware of things that is going on, even things that many of the global leaders don't know. How can we help? We can help by bringing out information like this. We can help by downsizing it, nailing it down to the point, making videos and write-ups about it, documenting it properly. In his team, they will put it there as a form of defense. So when next he goes to international summit, he's fully aware, he's in the know of what is actually going on, either in mainstream or off the stage. With that, when he speaks, he's loaded with wisdom. That is how Trump is loaded with wisdom. He has excellent people in his team. He can have a team of 20 people. Under those 20 people, each will have a team of 20 also that are hardworking, digging out information. He just went there. He's just like, oh my God, I don't even know this is happening in South Africa. I will investigate it when I get back home. Can you imagine? But this is ongoing while Ramaphosa was there, confused, ambushed, set up by the Oval Office, by Trump and his team. Ramaphosa should have had this information with him. Before you can say that you will tell Trump to his face, this would have been a good foundation for you to bring up this discussion there. Didn't you see the way Zelensky responded? He quarreled and argued in the White House, said he doesn't give a damn about it. That is the difference between a fair skin and a dark skin. The fair skin will speak out. The dark skin is always, oh, how am I going to make benefit of this? I'm thinking of business, but you don't have any business to do. The best business ever is the truth. Maybe this video, this particular one, will continue it later. I wanted it to play to the point that you will hear, oh, that the Nigerian government actually signed for this thing. The Nigerian government, our own government, they signed up for this thing. Deport Nigerians. Nigeria is a home where demons live. Deport Nigerians. Signed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Listen.
They attend Ivy League schools. They're visible in healthcare, tech, and academia. In short, they succeeded.
Nigerians are visible in healthcare, tech, academia, anything. Nigerians are excellent. You are removing excellent people, Donald Trump. And you say, oh, I'm looking for high IQ people. But the high IQ people are there. You are deporting them and you are bringing in junkies. White South Africans that are junkies. Moving them in their thousands to United States. So this is how you think, Donald Trump. Reverse psychology. Continue.
And for a certain political audience, that success feels threatening. In conservative media circles, Nigerian success stories are often...
And Donald Trump, don't even forget, we know of the Igbo landings. We know of how our ancestors, our fathers, built up America. You are not deporting their children like criminals. Make it secret. Let nobody know. Let's remove these people. Even in your present government now, you have Nigerian technocrats working their ass out for you. You are deporting their people. Can you do that to India or China? The answer is no. The answer is no. Listen, you people will hear the story.
Warped into anti-immigrant talking points. They take the scholarships, they crowd our hospitals, they use fake marriages to stay, they say. Right-wing outlets began circulating misleading data in early 2025, claiming that Nigerian immigrants were abusing the asylum system, despite there being no such statistical trend. So when Trump's team designed their tiered enforcement priority list, Nigerians were placed not at the bottom, but somewhere dangerously near the top. And there was one more reason. Nigeria is diplomatically weak in the U.S. immigration negotiation game. Countries like India or China often push back hard when their citizens are targeted. They delay travel document issuance. They threaten trade retaliation. Nigeria, while a giant in Africa, doesn't wield that kind of leverage in Washington.
Now, listen, my people, listen carefully. You heard how India and China fight back, but Nigeria, no. Those days in Scotland, when Obasanjo came there, his priority was, no, when Obasanjo visited the UK, his priority was to tell the British Nigerians, deport them, anything black, deport them, bring them back to Nigeria. He went to Canada and deceived them. Hey, come back now, everybody come back home, come back home. Come back home and do what? Indians are moving out, making a change. Nigerians are moving out, trying to make a change. Our government, we go from the back door, bring them back. Is that not witchcraft? Is that not witchcraft? You heard him. You heard him. Huh? That is the Nigerian government. They are weak. Listen to it again.
Nigeria, while a giant in Africa, doesn't wield that kind of leverage in Washington. It doesn't have the trade threat capacity, nor does it contribute meaningfully to U.S. manufacturing supply chains. So when America asks, will you accept a plane load of deportees next week? Nigeria usually nods. By February 2025, the White House had quietly signed agreements with at least 6 compliant countries to fast-track the deportation of their nationals. Nigeria was one of them. There were no press releases, no signing ceremonies, just logistics teams and deportation flights on standby. This compliance made Nigeria a testing ground. If the U.S. could detain and deport hundreds of Nigerians quickly and cleanly, it could roll out similar operations on other cooperative African and Caribbean nations.
Well, let's stop it here, and hopefully when we continue tomorrow, we start up immediately from the top of this very video and we'll run it down. We were meant to run it for an hour, but now it's more than an hour. So we are going to stop it here. We'll continue to get that. Nigerian government accepted deal with our people. That's why the US can kidnap them at night, go to their workplace, kidnap them, deport them for no good reason. Now, Africa always produces testing ground for every Western madness. They want to test HIV/AIDS. They call South Africa, bring your people. South Africa submitted 2 million. They wanted to test Ebola. They went to Congo. They gave them money. Corona. They gave Congo money, gave Africa money. They're always like that. Shameless things. With this, we have come to the end of the broadcast for today. And we will definitely continue. We will start up with this particular broadcast, this very edition. Then we'll round it up with the coup that happened in the Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. With this, from us here in the studio, we say bye-bye.
Safa sapheli sizwe simnyama iwasafa isizwe saba yavula moyo ayinkokhelize wemaye wemolo safa sapheli sizwe simnyama iwasafa isizwe saba yavula moyo ayinkokhelize wemaye ngiyakhala Safa pheli sizwe simnyama iwasafa isizwe sabantu alamula ba ayinkokhelize